Hello everyone, welcome to Metabolism Show's Mathematics and Physical Science YouTube channel. Today we're looking at the Maths March control test that was done last year. And the first question is question 1 that includes the number system. Okay, here's the instructions and question 1 up to 3 or some parts of question 3. Alright, in question 1 you're given P is equals to B squared minus 4AC, and you have to determine the value of P given the values of A, B, and C. Then you must leave your answer in a set form. So first thing to do here, 1.1.1, you want to determine the value of P, which is given by B squared minus 4AC, where A is given as 2, B is given as minus 1, C is given as a minus 4. And when you plug that into your equation, you're going to get a minus 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 4. Plug that in a calculator, you're going to get the square root of 33. Now, 1.1.2 is asking us what is the value of P? Is it rational or it's irrational? Then we know that the square root of 33 gives us a value that is irrational because it's in a set form. So it's irrational. One point 1.3 now is asking us between which two integers does a simple set or does this P lie, because it's a set. Right, now we've got ourselves square root of 33 that has the value of 5,744,566. So we just got to leave it at approximately 5,74. Now we have to look, if we look at it in number line, you'd have 5 here, you'd have 6 here, you'd have 5.5 here. 5.74 would be somewhere around here, which means the integers that you're looking at, that is true. Now to get that, you first have to say, okay, 525, which is the perfect square, for 5, and I have 33, and I have a 36, and I apply the square root on 3 of them in that order. Square root of 25 should be less than the square root of 33 and should be less than the square root of 36. That gives me a 5 is less than the square root of 33 and the square root of 6. And therefore, the integers in which between P lie are 5 and 6. Next up is 1.2, which is given by 3p plus q squared if 9p squared plus 9 plus q squared is equal to 12 and pq is equal to minus 3 for 3 marks. This question should be simple. 1.2 given a 3p plus q squared, which means this is 3p plus q times 3p plus q, which 3p times 3p gives us a 9p squared, and then 3p plus q times q, it's 3pq plus 3pq, and then plus a q squared. Now if you look at the statement, they've given us that 9p squared plus q squared is equals to 12. So let's group them. 9p squared plus q squared, and then if we add these 3pq's, we get a 6pq. Why are we isolating them? Because we are given information that 9p squared plus q squared has the value of 12, and then pq has the value of negative 3. So it means that we now class this one as a 12 plus 6 times the negative 3 which gives us minus 18 plus 12, and that is a negative 6 in total. Then we go to 1.3, which says determine or write 0.7 as a common fraction, 0.77777 as a common fraction, and show all the working details. Now 1.3, yeah, having what 0.7 recurring, we let x be equal to 0.77777. Make that equation 1. Then multiply on both sides by 10. Then multiply 10 by x, you get 10x, which is equals to 0.77 times 10, you get 7,777, and that is our equation 2. Now, in equation 2, we subtract equation 1. So, this means 10x minus x is equal to 7,777 minus 0,777. And then 10x minus x is 9x. 7,7 minus 0.7, you get a 7. Divide both sides by 9, then x is equals to 7 over 9. Next up, it's question 2, where they say you have to calculate without using a calculator. In question 2, we're given this decimals to calculate without using a calculator, 2.1.1. Given a 0,072, that is squared, minus 0,028, that is squared. Now, this looks like a difference of 2 squares. Then we make it look like a difference of 2 squares. 0,072 minus 0,028. That's what we have done in factorize. 0,072 plus 0,028. Now, to sum this up, you can subtract 72 from 28 from 72, and when you do that, you get a 0,044, right? Multiply by a 0,1. Now, when you multiply something by 0,1, that means you're adding a 0 to it, so it's 0,0044. Next up, if any number or integer or variable has been raised to the power of 0, the answer should be equal to a 1. So I don't think there's much explanation to that. That's laws of exponents or definitions. 2.1.2, the answer is 1. 2.2.1 should be our x cubed, or factorize x cubed minus 8. X cubed minus 8, which you can say first term. Okay, this is the same as saying what? X to the power of 3 minus 2 to the power of 3. Why are we doing this? So that we know the first term and the last term. First term minus last term multiplied by first term squared plus first term times second term, which is 2x, plus second term squared, which is 4. And then we factorize 2.2.2. We have an x squared. Is it plus a 15x or minus a 15x? Let's double check. So it's plus a 15x minus 54. To completely factorize this one, we'll have to open two brackets, put x and x, and then we put a minus and a plus. And for us to get a plus, we must have what are the factors? 18 times what? 8, 16, 24. So it should be 18 times 3. So this should be like that. 2.2.3, we have a factorization. I think we must go back to the question to check some. Factorization of y minus xy plus x minus 1. Okay. y minus xy plus x minus 1. Here we'll factor out y and we'll be left with 1 minus x. And here we'll factor out negative 1y so that it looks like 1 minus x. So it's 1 minus x. And this will give us 1 minus x into y minus y. 2.2.4. That is a t squared minus open bracket r minus s with minus r plus s. T squared r minus s into minus r plus s, which is equals to t squared to r minus s. Of course, this has been factorized, so now we can say minus r minus s. So this is a minus 1. Therefore, we'll take r minus s and take t squared minus 1. And then now we move on to question 3, I think. Question 3 wants us to simplify the following. Given a binomial with a trinomial, 3.1, we have an x plus 2 into x squared minus x plus 3. First one, take the first term of the binomial x, multiply it with x squared minus x plus 3. And then second term, x squared minus x plus 3. Then here we get x cubed minus x squared plus 3x plus 2x squared minus 2x plus 6. Then we can group those terms which are alike. So it's x cubed minus x squared plus 2x squared plus 3x minus 2x plus 6, which gives us an x cubed plus x squared plus x minus 6. Second one is a fraction, 3.1.2, that says 5 over x plus 3 minus 3 over 2 minus x. First, we must fix the order. We normally start with a variable, then a number when it comes to the denominator of these types of fractions. So we'll have to order that into 5 all over x plus 3 minus 3 all over negative x minus 2. And that then simplifies into a 5 all over x plus 3 plus 3 all over x minus 2. Now we look for the lowest common multiple or lowest common LCD, which will be multiplying x plus 3 with x minus 2. And when you do that, you get 5 into x minus 2 plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3. Simplify that, you get a 5x minus 10 plus 3x plus 9. That is all over x plus 3 times x minus 2, which is equals to an 8x minus 1 over x plus 3 times x minus 2. Then we're done. Let's check out 3.2, which seems to be an inequality. No, it's still part of this. So it's a minus 9 less than 3x minus 3 less or equal to 27. Minus 9 less than 3x minus 3 less or equal to 27. To remove the 3, we have to add. So minus 9 plus 3 less than 3x minus 3 plus 3 less or equal to 27 plus 3. Now we get a negative 6 less than 3x less than or equal to 30. Then we have to divide throughout by 3. order to get negative 2 less than x less than or equal to 10. Now we have to illustrate that as well in a normalized form. When we do that, we're going to draw a line, put -2 here, put 10 here, draw a circle, circle, and then in here we shade, then we combine. Okay, now the next question, I think it's a 3.3, which is the last part. Solve for x with x multiplied by x minus 2 equals to 3. X into x minus 2 is equals to 3. Why don't you just say x is equals to 3 and x minus 2 is equals to 3? Because this doesn't satisfy the zero law, which means it's not been factorized yet. They've just factorized the left hand side, but the right hand side is not equal to 0. And therefore, what I mean is that we need to first simplify it on the left hand side to give x squared minus 2x equals to 3. Excuse me. X squared minus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Then now we can factorize it to be applicable of the zero law. A times b equal to 0, either a is 0 or b is 0, of which this one does not satisfy here. Right, now the factors here would be x, 3 and 1, negative 3 plus 1, whereby x minus 3 equals 0 and x is equals to 3. And x plus 1 equals 0 and x is equals to minus 1. Okay, now 3.4, solve for x and y simultaneously, which is 3x minus 2y plus 8 and 4x minus 2y equals to 6. Okay, it says here 3x minus 2y equals to 8, that's our first equation, and 4x minus 2y equals to 6, that's our second equation. Best way to eliminate would be by subtracting equation 2 with equation 1, each and every term horizontally aligned. So which means we're going to say 4x minus 3x okay, don't know what's happening here. Right, I'll pause just for a little. So let's continue on with our 3.4. There was a minor glitch there. So in 3.4 we had the simultaneous and then we subtract. So we're subtracting here 4x minus 3x and negative 2y minus negative 2y, which is also equal to a 6 minus an 8. And that gives us 4x minus 3x, negative 2y plus 2y, which is equal to negative 2. And that results in a x is equal to minus 2. And we can now use one of the equations. Maybe equation 1, say 3x minus 2y is equals to 8. Now that x is equal to negative 2, substitute it here, 3 times negative 2 minus 2y equals to an 8. So it's negative 6 minus 2y equal to an 8. Then we take the negative 6 to the right hand side, it becomes minus 2y equals to 8 plus 6. It gives us negative 2y equal to 14 divided by negative 2 both sides, get y is equal to negative 7. And yeah, I think we're done with that. So let's check up last question, question 4. Given a triangle PQR, and QR is that length, PR is 15, PQ is perpendicular to QR, and angle P is equal to theta. So my first suggestion here was to redraw this where P is on the adjacent, PQ is on the adjacent side. Why are we doing that? We want to make sure that we see which side will be related to which one. So this would be P, and this would be R, and this would be Q. Q is still 90, P is still theta. We just tilted it counterclockwise. I mean anti-clockwise. So 15 centimeter, 9 centimeter. And if you want, you can also calculate PQ here. But first, let's look at the question 4.1. They are looking for a sine theta, or the trig ratio is opposite over hypotenuse. But opposite side is 9 over, is it a 12 or it's a 15? 9 over 15. Okay, 9 over 15. And 4.2, they're looking for angle R. Now we're looking for angle R. So you can say that's 90 plus theta plus angle R equals to 180 . You can say what? 90 plus theta plus angle R equals to 180 degrees, and then angle R is equals to 90 minus theta. Why? Sum of angles in a triangle. And 4.2.2. Yes, 4.2.2, the ratio of tan theta. Now we need adjacent side now. So which means x squared plus y squared equals to r squared. Now we need x squared equals to r squared minus y squared. Now r squared minus y squared. Apply the square root here. Apply the square root and you say plus or minus here. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of, what is our value of r? Our r is 15 and our y is 9 squared. And that we get plus or minus square root of 144, which is equals to plus or minus square root of a value of 12, which is square root of 144. Now conclude that x is equals to 12. So we may say that tan of an angle theta is given by the ratio of opposite over adjacent, which is equal to, opposite side is a 9, adjacent side is now a 12. So this is the same as 3 over 4, which gives us to the last question, 4.3. They want the angle theta. So we'll say tan of the angle theta will be equal to 3 over 4 or 9 over 12. It's up to you if you simplified it. And then theta is equal to 3 over arctan 3 over 4, which is giving us 36.87 degrees. And that is our last question. So thank you for watching through our video. Please stay tuned for more as we unpack for your March test from last year while you prepare for the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.